afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3, and a special welcome to all our listeners on the TBC Radio Network. I'm Ryan Bachu. Top of the news this afternoon. General Secretary of the National Trade Union Center, Michael Anisette, says the labor movement is hoping to see plans for wage settlements and job creation in the upcoming budget. Anisette says the budget should not be just a mathematical formula, but it must take into consideration the socio-economic effects of unemployment while growing the economy.
The budget must have fiscal space that is rooted in a people-centered budget. Because labor connotates all kinds of things, but if we say people-centered budget, it covers the vulnerable in the society, which is critical because we must have a social net to address those real social issues that affect the single parent, those workers who are sent home, right, who are there languishing.
Anisette says job creation should be a major concern for government. He says it is crucial to the economy and citizens alike.
It must be job-led and wage-led, meaning without jobs, okay, you cannot grow an economy. You could invest in how much money you want, but if people are not having sustainable jobs, if people are not having proper wages, fair wages, decent wages, your economy is going to go down economic precipice.
Frustration continues across regional corporations as back pay for councillors and aldermen remains unsettled. Out of 14 corporations to receive funds, only 7 have reportedly been paid. They include the Point Fortin and Siparia regional corporations. Chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, Kenwin Phillip, confirmed the delays. He says their audits were completed on time, but complications arose when some committees were allegedly paid in error, prompting further deductions and extended reviews. However, Phillip says they have since met with the CPO, but accuses the local government ministry of prolonging the issue. Meanwhile, Chaguanas Mayor Faik Mohammed confirmed that the Chaguanas Borough Corporation was not among the 7 to receive back pay.
No. The Chaguanas Borough Corporation was not among the 7 that received back pay. However, the minister assured that this matter will be resolved promptly.
Efforts were also made to contact Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin. However, the call went directly to voicemail. A prison officer was attacked and robbed of his service pistol just after midnight on Thursday as he walked to his home in St. Madeleine. The 34-year-old man who is assigned to the maximum security prison was ambushed by 2 men around 12:15 a.m. along St. Augustine Circular. The officer was struck in the face with a gun before being stabbed in the back. The bandits later grabbed the officer's bag, which contained his service weapon and ammunition, as well as his wallet with $750 in cash and a Samsung S23 smartphone. The injured officer made his way to the guard booth at the UE campus and was taken to the Tunapuna police station before being transferred to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex for treatment. The Housing Development Corporation says it is now in the procurement stage for critical repairs at the Riverside South Corinth development. But as residents wait, they warn conditions are worsening by the day. Residents say they are grappling with a partially collapsed road, poor drainage, and no retaining walls along the river. Problems they claim have led to flooding, property damage, and dangerous road conditions. They've had to cordon off the impassable roadways within the property. While they are pleased with the response from HDC's Facilities Estate Management Company, they say repair works need to commence urgently.
The way it's progressing, if nothing is done within the next week or 2, all right, the whole road will be into the river. Yeah, not only on this side, but as I said, where you see the properties line the river. They need to put a retaining wall. They will actually have to put some infrastructure within the waterway itself.
Another resident, Lara Dowell, who chairs the Riverdale South Management Company, said while the landslip is a serious concern, there are other critical infrastructural issues in the community that also need urgent attention.
but they need to pay attention to the infrastructure, to the back of homes that they've erected that are not done properly. So we have on this side of the community where they have a retaining wall, water is coming out from the retaining wall and it's seeping into people's homes. Tiles are being uprooted. They have mold forming, all those sorts of things. And on the other side, you have drainage that is not done properly. And when rain falls a certain way, people's yards are flooding out.
HTC says they will let residents know once repair works are set to begin. You're watching the Midday News here on CNC3. Stay with us. When we come back, we will have sport news for you.
Tile Depot Diwali sale on now. Stunning floors at dazzling prices. 12 by 12, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95. And 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited today at Bagney Chase Village. Call 234-4402.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Welcome back. Trinidad and Tobago's Akeem Stewart claimed silver medal in the men's F44 discus at the World Para-Athletics Championships in New Delhi. Stewart threw a season-best 59.64 meters, just behind Colombia's Andres Mascheriniera, who won gold with 60.26 meters. The two-time Paralympic medalist continues to be one of TNT's most consistent para-athletes on the world stage, and we all here at CNC3 send congratulations to him. Meanwhile, the West Indies endured another tough day in Ahmedabad as India closed day 2 of the first test match on 448 for 5, leading by 286 runs. Despite early breakthroughs from the Windies captain Roston Chase that removed captain Shubman Gill for 50 and Jamel Warrican, who bowled out KL Rahul after his superb century, the visitors would struggle to contain India's middle order. The major damage came through a 229-run partnership between Ravindra Jadeja with 104 not out by stumps and Dhruv Jurel smashing 125 runs off 210 balls. With India solidly in command, the West Indies will need something special on day 3 to fight their way back into this contest. Trinidad and Tobago's senior men's head coach Dwight York is optimistic that the Soca Warriors will do what is required in arguably the most important international window of the year. Caston Cupid has the latest.
After starting the final round of the FIFA World Cup CONCACAF qualifiers with a draw and a defeat, Trinidad and Tobago is currently sitting third in Group B with just a point. With the next pair of qualifiers on the horizon, this is a crucial window for the Warriors as both matches will be on the road. The first on October 10th against Bermuda, then 4 days later against Curacao.
We got 4 games, 12 points to play for. What is behind us is already happened. We could only control what's in front of us, and that's the positive message. There is no hiding place. There's no excuses from our end. We need to produce a result against Bermuda and really take that momentum into Curacao within the next couple of weeks.
The team will set up camp in Miami from Sunday before jetting off to Bermuda on Wednesday. York's taken all the positives from the first pair of matches and reiterated that it needs to be reflected in the final score from here on in.
We have to turn up, we have to perform, we have to get the results because, we need results. It's good that the performances are really positive. The numbers are suggesting that, but ultimately you're going to be judged on results, and we need to make sure that when we play against Bermuda and Curacao that we are at our best. And I strongly believe that would be the case.
With the recent progress towards the Constitution Amendment Bill 2025, or grandparent law, the gaffer noted that legislation is yet to be officially proclaimed, but he's already started the conversation with a couple of players, all while understanding the potential length of the process.
You got to understand that these players have the options to play for their various countries also, so they may look at that, and that might be a stumbling block. It's up to me as the head coach to try and influence these players to do the reason why they should be playing for Trinidad and Tobago rather than probably the country of their birth.
Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Thank you very much, Caston. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Freedom 106.5 FM in collaboration with Crown Her Trinidad and Tobago say it's time to be period proud. Let's remove the stigma, shame and silence around periods. Join us on this national campaign of reshaping the way we think and talk about menstruation. We will break the myths, share the facts and build a culture of respect and understanding. Catch Period Proud on CNC3 Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 5:55 p.m. and on Freedom 106.5 FM, on air, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Ask the Doctor's new season is here as Dr. Joel Tilak Singh covers a range of topics and, most importantly, answers all your medical questions.
Join us on Ask the Doctor live on CNC3 on Thursdays at a new time of 8:30 p.m. with a rerun on Fridays at 11 a.m.
Internationally, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs could spend years behind bars as he faces sentencing today, following his conviction for transporting people for illegal encounters. Here's more from CNN.
Ahead of today's sentencing hearing, Sean Diddy Combs sent a letter to the court asking the judge to make an example out of him by giving him a second chance at his life. Now, we are hearing that this sentencing hearing could last all day or potentially go into Monday. The judge will make that decision on how long each side has when the court starts at 10 a.m.
Although the jury acquitted Sean Diddy Combs of the most serious charges of racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking, which could have resulted in a life sentence, he could still face up to 20 years in prison for the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution the jury found him guilty of. In documents filed in court this week, the prosecution asked for a sentence of over 11 years, writing, quote, "A substantial term of imprisonment is also needed in this case because the defendant is unrepentant. The court should focus on the very real effects that the defendant's conduct had on the lives of actual victims. His victims." Meanwhile, Combs' defense was pushing the judge overseeing the case to vacate his conviction altogether or allow for a new trial. The judge denied that request. During the more than 6-week trial in a downtown Manhattan courtroom, jurors heard graphic descriptions of drug-fueled sex marathons known as freak-offs from women who testified they felt coerced into participating. Combs has remained in jail since the July verdict after the judge twice refused requests by his attorneys to grant him bail. Despite the potential for a years-long sentence, Combs' defense team has continued to tout the verdict as a win.
The government's first mistake was bringing the case, period. There was no way that Mr. Combs committed sex trafficking or RICO, and I think the jury saw straight through it.
Let's see what Jean-Marc has for us in the weather.
Currently, conditions are mostly hot and sunny despite 1 or 2 light showers over Tobago. While these hot conditions are expected to continue over most areas, 1 or 2 thunderstorms can develop this afternoon over Trinidad. Also, with the light winds today, some weather stations across the country have already recorded 34 degrees Celsius and may continue to rise just a bit more during the early afternoon. So remember to keep hydrated and cool throughout the day. Looking ahead, no significant change in the weather pattern until next week when a tropical wave with a medium chance for cyclone development nears the region.
Well, thank you for joining us for a look at today's biggest developments so far here on the Midday News. We'll have these stories and so much more in our major newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great Friday.